So, you're thinking about moving to Palm Coast, Florida, but you want to know more about the situation with PEP tanks? That's exactly what we're going to cover in this video. If that sounds like something you're interested in, then stick around because we're going to get after it right now. Hi, my name is Stephanie Schulis with Real Broker. Thanks so much for joining us today. If this is your first time to the channel, please make sure to tap that button below to subscribe, hit that bell for notifications so you can be the first to be notified every time we put out new content all about Palm Coast, Florida living and moving to Palm Coast and the surrounding areas. We get calls, texts, and emails from people just like you looking to make the move to Palm Coast every day. We absolutely love it. So whether you're thinking about moving in the next 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, and we'll do everything we can to help you make a smooth move to Palm Coast, Florida. Today, I wanted to talk about PEP tanks. PEP tanks are that little green circle you see in the photo there. And it stands PEP tanks, P-E-P tank. PEP stands for Pre-Treatment Effluent Pumping System, and it's a part of the central sewage system designed in specific neighborhoods here in Palm Coast. In areas served by the PEP system, each home will have a buried tank, a small pump, and a control panel that's mounted on the home. The system is owned and operated by the City of Palm Coast Utility Department. In this chart here, you can see a little bit more about how the PEP tank is broken down. As you can see, wastewater from the house travels through a 4-inch diameter pipe into the pre-treatment tank. In the tank, wastewater is treated. When the liquid level in the tank reaches the height at which the float is set, the control systems turn on the pump. The pump sends a set volume of liquid out of the tank via the service line into the pressure main and onto the wastewater treatment plant. So that's how it looks when it's being installed in the ground in front of the house. This is a look at the pump assembly. There will be an access point at the top. And then this is the control panel that's mounted on the side of the house. You'll notice that there's a red light and a green light on the side nearest the road. The green light indicates that the control panel is energized and should always be illuminated. The red light is part of an audio-visual high water alarm. Should the PEP system malfunction, the red light will come on and an audible, extremely loud audible alarm will sound. If this happens, there's a little button underneath that you can press to silence the alarm, and then you call a customer service representative. You do not call a plumber. Again, this is owned and maintained by the City of Palm Coast. You can go online and submit a case, or you can call a 24-hour number. One of the common questions I get about PEP tanks is it like a septic system? And the answer is kind of, in the fact that there's a tank below the ground, but what's different from a septic system is, or the biggest difference, is that there's no leach field, no drainage field. So when you have a septic system and you have that drainage field, you can't put anything on top of that drainage field. You can't put a pool over it, a big shed, anything heavy. It's going to kind of make the ground sink there because it'll mess with the pipes. So there's no leach field, there's no drainage field. It's only that one piece in the front of your yard. Your backyard is still completely open for use however you want to do so. Another question I get about PEP tanks a lot is, can it back up into my house? And the answer is yes, it can technically, but there are a lot of stopgaps in place to keep it from doing so. Once the water reaches a certain level, it is pumped out. So it shouldn't ever rise above that level. If it does get close to that level, so again, before it passes that level, is when the alarm would go off. and then you would call, they come out very quickly and address whatever the problem is at no cost to you. But what happens during storms or power outages? If the power's off, the pump's not going to operate. So in those instances, it is possible for it to go above that line. However, a reserve capacity in the pre-treatment tank allows for a normal day's usage before any difficulty should be experienced. During a power outage, your water usage is normally greatly reduced. Electrical appliances such as dishwashers aren't going to be functioning if you don't have power. You're likely not going to be taking, long, hot, luxurious showers. And so things like that, you're not doing laundry, things like that. So naturally, when there's a power outage, your water usage is going to be reduced. Because of that, the city also encourages you to be extra cautious with your water usage and limit it if you're on a PEP tank, just in case. So typically when the power's out, you don't have much to be concerned about. Another question I commonly get is there anything I shouldn't put down the drain because I have a PEP system? And the answer is yes. You don't want to put any kind of plastic down there. You don't want to use any kind of sanitary napkins or other feminine hygiene materials. You don't want to put cigarette butts down your toilets. You don't want to put excessive grease, coffee grounds, or other inorganic materials. You don't want to put any chemicals, paint thinners, oil-based products, things like that. If you practice just basic longevity for drains, you should be fine. Another question is, will I hear the pump running? Every time 50 gallons of water enters the tank, the submersible pump is going to turn on, and it runs for approximately 1 to 2 minutes. Under normal conditions, the system will pump 40 gallons per minute. Unless you are directly next to the tank chamber with good hearing, you should not hear the system running. Another question is, what do I do if my drains run slow? The problem may present in the pre-treatment tank or in your household plumbing. The first thing you're going to want to do is call the customer service line for the city. A representative is going to come out and check and make sure that the problem is not the PEP system. If the problem is found to be the household plumbing, then you're going to be advised to call a plumber and address it on that end. But the first step that I would advise you to do is to call the city first, have them come check the PEP tank, because that's done at no cost to you. Save yourself an emergency plumber visit. That's it on PEP tanks. If you have any questions, any concerns, be happy to chat about it. You can leave a comment below, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. We always love hearing from you guys. That's it for this video. We'll see you on the next one.